You're on perfect.
Spot on.
Spot on. For probably the only time I'll get it right is on the 29th of February. Anyway, let's get the thing there. Good evening, a Pulsar. Hello, everyone. Here we go again. It's Thursday night. Only means one thing. The boring live stream, as it's been called. But there you go. Anyway,
who called it that?
Oh well, that's another story.
Do I need to guess? No.
Yeah. Anyway, hello everyone. Nice to see you all. If you're watching this live, or you're watching it tomorrow morning in your pajamas, or in bed later, just welcome. Busy old week. I've had rushed birthday top 10s to do, which was a lot of fun. But on the whole, this week we've had 3,822 people having a peek at the station. And 16 people actually thought, well, yeah, he's not too bad, so we'll subscribe to his channel. So what have you been watching? Well, number 3 this week, Def Leppard's Worst Songs 56. And I didn't get much grief. I was surprised.
I'm not.
Well, the ones I did pick are pretty naff. Yes. Number 2 this week is what I did on yesterday. Mr. Dave Edmonds, 74.
Oh,
but the top one was from last week. Lou Reed, 214. So Lou Reed's quite popular. Top short last week, the debut from Mr. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Good afternoon, Mick. So the 28 days, 15,321 views. Every time I look at these, it just gobsmacks me. I still kind of get it. 65 new subscribers in the last 28 days. That's incredible as well. What you've been watching? Well, Lou Reed is number 3 in the month, and that's at 314. The punk songs I did with Richard still going strong at 373, but still reigning the monthly. It's Mick Taylor at 830. I was so surprised at that.
Picked a good one.
Since we've been going since May 2021, 296,803. Not far off the 300,000 views.
Yeah, you might get that for your 3rd birthday.
Yeah, and we've now got 1,529 subscribers. Wonderful
thank
stuff,
you, everyone.
And thank you. No change really in the top 3. The figures have changed a little bit. Riggs's Iron Maiden artwork stands at 4,039. Slade is now at 4,611, but Quo still marching on at 8,251. Yes, Charles, you're upsetting the odds here. I think it could be a tight one, actually. A lot of people have voted for Talk Talk.
Yeah, and they're leading in the community.
Are they leading now?
Yeah.
Oh, Charles. Look. Yeah, Charles is going to be a happy bunny. Well, what have I been listening to this week? Well, good evening, Simon. I've been listening to some Caravan this week, and I've listened to 7 of the 15. Been listening to some nice, wonderful Gordon Lightfoot. I just love listening to that first thing in the morning. It's a nice way to start your day. Bit of Gordon. The Manavishu Orchestra, 6 of the 18. Been boogieing to some Blackfoot, 5 of the 13. I've been having a nice, gentle time with the Grateful Dead, 4 of 13. Launching through
Evening, Lisa.
Blackfoot. Now, where am I? Blondie, 6 of 10. So we've added some new ones. Oh, Dave just told me off the top. The Brady Bunch. Now, who? Hi, Lisa. Who asked for the Brady Bunch?
It came up in chat one night.
You don't miss a thing. There's 5 of them for me to listen to. That might be interesting. Belle and Sebastian, who I've actually seen, I think. North of Lemon, and the Smile. I finished doing the tubes, split ends, and Jonathan Wilson. So anyway, what's this? Oh, top shot. I forgot to tell you the top short for the month. Status Quo is 1982, 516, and Jean-Michel Jarre Oxygen still out in front. So that's my bit done for now.
Bear with me just a little bit.
Oh, that's the best one.
I'm catching up with the current votes because it is changing so fast.
Yes. Talk, great band, crappy internet provider. Excellent.
Good one. Good one. Right. Currently, Talk overall 23, Rush 16.
Oh, this is going to be a good one.
Yeah,
Anyway,
9-3 live and 14-13 in the community.
Anyway, we have got a very, very special Hatches, Matches and Dispatches today. Because
dispatches, no.
But Hatches,
yes.
He had to work hard for his tuppence this week.
No, I didn't.
Anyway, I'm going to hand you over to Dave because now he's had his treat. He needs to go somewhere else. It's a dog of routine. Is this one?
Yeah. Okay. Off you go.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. This week, dispatches. We missed a couple last week because they weren't posted until well after the show. So, 21st of February, Roberto Darwin, a Uruguayan singer-songwriter and guitarist, and Keith Martin. Some of you might remember him. He was a DJ on Radio Caroline. They both passed on the 21st. The 23rd of February, Tina Rainford. She's a German singer. She was known for a song Silver Bird. And Shin Sadong Tiger, the South Korean record producer. They both passed. The 24th of February, Juana Bacalao, or Bacalao, Cuban singer and dancer, passed away. And on the 25th of February, Biggie Dago, a Dutch rapper, a young fella, he died from being shot, unfortunately. And Peter Morgan, he's a Jamaican reggae singer with the group Morgan Heritage. The 26th of February, we lost Bhakta Raj Acharya. He's a Nepali singer and composer. We also lost Jaakko Teppo, a Finnish singer-songwriter, and Pankaj Udas, an Indian ghazal singer. And then on the 28th of February, we lost Kat Janis, age 31, a very young person to die from cancer. Very unfortunate. And for those of us here in the UK, I don't know how many of our foreign viewers will have ever seen the Hairy Bikers cookbook. Dave Myers, the hairy biker with the glasses, passed away from cancer. He had been diagnosed, he'd been undergoing treatment recently. He posted footage of the first time that he got back on his motorbike and went for a little ride up the lane and came back full of smiles and glee. And they actually had started recording a new series, which is being broadcast at the moment. So very sadly, he passed away yesterday. Birthdays. This is where the fun starts. Hey. 48 today is Jeffrey Bruce Atkins Sr.
How old is he?
He's 48.
What's his
in real years? He's 12 today. And you've got to love this. Do you know what his stage name is? He's Yarul. Yarul, the American rapper. He's only 12 today. I've got a book there. 14 today is Gareth Vincent Farr. He's a member of the Order of Merit of New Zealand. He's a New Zealand composer and percussionist. 15 today is Paulo Sergio Gomez, better known as Ja Red or MCUD, MC Underdog. He's an American singer and rapper, best known as the lead vocalist of Head PE. 16 today is Khaled Haj Ibrahim. He's known by the mononym Khaled, and he's an Algerian Rai singer, musician, and songwriter. Along with Sir Lucian Charles Grange, CBE. He's the British CEO of Universal Music Group, and we all know what they're responsible for. He was once titled, let's put it that way, he was once titled by Billboard magazine as the most important person in music industry, which I think is a bit of a say no more. 21 today is Gretchen Christopher. She's an American singer. She used to sing in the Fleetwoods. And Granny today is 23. It's actually 92. 23 years old today is Rari Grist. She's an African-American musical, theatre and operatic coloratura soprano. She was the first person to sing the song Somewhere in West Side Story. She sang for the Zurich Opera from 1962 to 66. She also sang at the Bayer Staatsopera from 65 to 87 and for the New York Metropolitan Opera from 66 to 79. Very busy lady. Anyway, those are all the birthdays today. There's only 7 of them. Marriages today, we could only find 2. In 1816, the Dutch King Willem II married the Russian Grand Duchess Anna Pavlovna. And in 2012, at the age of 86, American actor Dick Van Dyke married his second wife, American makeup artist Arlene Silver. She was only 40. Today's talking point, if I remember correctly, is 1981.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Ian and I had a bit of a giggle about this earlier. I decided, right, I'm going to pick things that are unusual because we know a lot of things that went on in 1981, royal weddings, etc. So, okay, in January, how many of you remember the boxer Leon Spinks? He actually fought for the world heavyweight title. Well, apparently in January, he got mugged, and his assailant stole his false teeth, which were made of gold. In February, a series of sewer explosions destroyed 2 miles of street in Louisville, Kentucky. Somebody had a bad curry the night before. In March, President Ronald Reagan was shot and wounded in an assassination attempt by John Hinckley. We all know about that one. April the 4th, we had a double hit. Bob Champion won the 135th Grand National aboard Aldeniti. And later that evening, somebody won the Eurovision Song Contest. Bucks Fizz singing Making Your Mind Up. Rather
I knew it. I was in hospital.
Yeah.
17th of March, 1981, I had a spinal fusion.
That's right.
Ooh.
I wondered where you were. You were awful quiet. In May, the Pope, John Paul II, was shot and critically wounded by Mehmet Ali Atça, a Turkish gunman. And then in June, Ian got most of this right. The Glastonbury Festival opened. The headline acts were Hawkwind and Ginger Baker. And other performers included New Order, Taj Mahal, Aswad, Gordon Giltrap, Judy Zook, Gong, Matumbi, Robert Hunter, Supercharge, and Talisman. And we have added Aswad and Judy Zook to the laundry list on the back of that. In July, a 23-year-old Indian, Rajan Mahadevan, recited the digits of pi from memory. He recited 31,811 digits. That's a hell of a number to know in your head. In August, and this shook me a little bit, considering that it's 2024 and we're talking 43 years ago, IBM introduced the first personal computer, PC, and PC-DOS version 1.0. In September of 81, Vanuatu became a member of the United Nations. In October, the Rolling Stones played a concert at the Los Angeles Coliseum, and what was then an unknown musician opened up for them. It's a young man by the name of Prince Rogers Nelson. November saw the first crossing of the Pacific by a balloon. It launched in Japan and landed in California. It took just over 84 and a half hours. And then in December, Muhammad Ali had his 61st and last fight. He fought Trevor Berbick in Nassau in the Bahamas, and Ali lost by unanimous decision over 10 rounds. So that's your hatches, matches, dispatches, and general rubbish.
There's one more thing from 1981. Botham's Ashes.
Yeah, I was deliberately decided to leave that to you.
Yes. Within 3 weeks, the 4 weeks, he resigned as captain, and then for the following 3 tests, he just absolutely boozled the Aussies, along with Mr. Bob Willis, who took 8 for 43. And Dennis Lilly and Rodney Marsh weren't very popular with the Aussie team because Ladbrokes were offering, I think, 500 to 1 for an England victory. They put £5 on. And the story goes, the coach driver walked into the Australian dressing room and just threw a bag of money at them and walked out. Yeah.
Yes, that would have gone down like a lead balloon because then there'd be accusations of throwing the match.
Yes, but I don't think that didn't happen in them days. I think it was all done in the fun.
Yeah. Anyway, are you ready for?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, so we add that to the stage and we go full screen. Off you go.
Right, next week. Well, first week of March. Apparently, it's sort of the equinoxial spring or something. I don't know. I heard on the radio. So, what we're going to start off with? Well, Monday. First up is Lou Reed collaborations, and if you see by that thumbnail, that's all the people he collaborated with on 2 albums. His old bandmate and some band called Metallica, and it looks like I'm poking Robert in the ear hole.
Who's Metallica? Never heard of them.
No, never heard of them. Okay, classic albums. And it's the final month of classic albums because we're making a change in April. That's another story. I was going through what can I do? And I saw Mojo's greatest albums that were recorded on the Motown label. And I looked through it. There's some absolute crackers. And the one we're going to start off with is Mr. Rick James and his Street Songs album, which has got some really well-known of his hits, and it's an all-round good funky album. Tuesday, got a viewer's request, Scottish prog band, neo-prog band, whatever you want to call them, Palace, including the new album that came out late last year. Retro ranking when having a bit of a knees up down the old rubber-dub tub with Chaz and Dave. Oh, I don't care. Yeah, bit of Chaz and Dave. So if you're in America, you don't know what we're going on about, but You will enjoy it. You'll see a bit of Cockney humour there. Wednesday, we've got part 4 of the Michael Schenker story. And we're looking at Michael Schenker's group, or we affectionately knew it as MSG. Loads of people in there. That's probably one of my favourite lineups because it's got Cozy in it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go on to Thursday. A great battle royale.
Yeah.
Foxtrot against the Who. Who's next? That is going to be another interesting one. Looking at the album artwork and who designed it, and what are them Stones doing on that block on the Who one? You'll all find out what they are. And then we've got Pick a Mix, and we're going to take a wander down the sidewalk next week, and we're going to do the top 10 from America on the 7th of March, 1976.
Oh, Pulsar's never heard of Chaz and Dave.
Oh, God. You'll be into that. And then we've got a triple header. We've got live album ranking of Megadeth. We're finally putting him in because we should have done him a few weeks ago, but I was poorly sick. And we've got a new album, and Mike will be pleased about this one. So am I. It's the new album from the Beavis Frond, Focus on Nature, that comes out tomorrow. And also, Iron Maiden's frontman releasing his first solo album for such a long time, the Mandrake Project. I am looking forward to that. I've heard about 3 tracks on it, and I love it. So there we are. That's on What's Next Week. And at some stage, you might get a Battle Royale update at some stage. So there we go.
Well, we're not. You're already back on screen.
Am I?
Yeah.
Hello,
got one. I don't know that we will, because the 21st of March is the last tie in round 2. So the 28th of March, the end of the month, we'll be doing our review of round 2.
Yeah. I'll just tell you what's been going on, who's up to. So let's do the invite and get some people up. I'll put the Doodly Tiddle in now, and then you can go and find it if you want to come up.
Pulsar, if you want to try some Chaz and Dave, just look on YouTube for Chaz and Dave.
So there's the link for tonight. So movies. I haven't got much to show in movies this 1981. But first one I'm going to show.
I told you a bunch earlier that were released, but you don't have them. So okay, we're going to make it. All right, you've done it.
I've done it. First one, it was a Bond year. For Your Eyes Only. It's not. We're not our favourite, is it, Rob? We don't like this one.
I do. Because it came out on it premiered on my birthday.
I know it premiered on your birthday, but
and it's got a rather sexy lady in it.
Yes, okay, but it's not the best. But one of the best movies of that year, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah,
I've got there's 4 in this Blu-ray set. I've seen the new one, and it's not as bad as people make out. We had one of the greatest. I still think this is one of the greatest horror movies ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Werewolf in London. The effects in this are fantastic. And when I saw this for the first time, which would have been 1983, it scared me. Yes.
Yes. Likewise, because I'd been away. It was after that I saw it. It was on TV late at night, and I literally needed to go to the loo after.
Yeah, but I think one of the best movies that came out in 1981, and it's probably one of the greatest war movies ever, in my books. The wonderful, the brilliant Das Boot.
Yes. Yeah. and it's best in German.
Yes, I always watch it in German, and this is not the cinema one. This is the director's cut. It's over 3 hours, but it's so tense. So I just love the way they filmed it, because there's a documentary and they did it in order so they could started off with no beards, and that's all natural beard.
Yep.
It's absolutely a brilliant film.
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody's watched it. Yeah, Charles is right. It's a claustrophobic masterpiece. I started watching the series that Sky did, was on Sky, and I just fell out with it. It just bored me. But this, I can watch this till the cows come home. I love the music. I love everything about this. This is probably my number one war movie of all time.
I mean, the problem with making a series of a movie is you need a larger set so that cameras can take different angles and views, and that doesn't work in a submarine. You don't have that much room. They got it right.
But there was one TV series. Now, I haven't got the TV series on DVD because I don't think you can. I've not seen it. But on TV, a certain series started, but I have got the album.
Yes.
Three of a Kind. Tracy Ullman, Lenny Henry, and this chap here, David Copperfield. I've actually met him. He was drinking in a pub in Northampton. And I sat with my brother and him for 2 hours. He is such a nice guy. Very, very funny. And naturally funny. Absolute diamond he was. I met him in 1980. No, it'd have been 1990 something. He was performing in Northampton. What a lovely guy he was. I mean, some of the characters on the back here: Delbert Wilkins, Grunge, Dollop. Their parody of Dollar. Sing a Sloppy Song, it's called. Bright Wind and Fire's on here.
That was ITV, wasn't it?
No, it was on BBC. It's on the BBC records. Yes.
Because normally BBC.
Yes, on BBC.
I wonder if they lost the master tapes or somebody burnt.
Yeah, that's it. Anyway, good evening, Jimmy.
Hello, Jimmy.
You all right?
Have you recovered?
Oh, from the thrashing? No. No, I hate the vinyl community. They all turn against me now. If it had to lose, at least it lost to an album that I do like. I don't love, never mind the bollocks, but I like it. So
yeah,
it could have been worse. Could have lost to some horrible progressive rock or something like that. So. No offense, Ian.
That's all right. None taken.
Speaking of which, I'm glad you popped up and made me ask that. Last week's results. We haven't told everybody what happened last week.
Oh yeah, I forgot about last one. Only Fools and Horses. I have got every single episode of Only Fools and Horses as well. Thank you, Charles.
Love it.
Anyway.
Have to watch it all at least once a year. Only Fools and Horses play through.
Yes,
it's like comfort TV for me. Only Fools.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes you feel good, doesn't it? Especially in winter time or around Christmas.
Yeah, I like watching it. Anyway, we'll let Dave give last week's.
Yeah, it also Only Fools also depends on which part of the series, which grandpa it is. Because there's Granddad, and then there's Uncle Albert. Granddad was good, but I loved Uncle Albert. Anyway, last week's Battle Royale, we had Simon and Garfunkel up against Meat Loaf. And in the live poll, it was a comfortable win. It was 28-12 for Simon and Garfunkel. But the community liked it just as much, 40-21, for an overall 68-33 victory. So a certain gentleman up in Coleraine will be very happy that 68 people backed his choice. Yes.
And he's making the draw for the quarter final.
Yes.
But there's no way he can fix it.
No, because we're going to be crafty. We're going to draw the numbers. We'll do a little video about it, but we won't release it till after the numbers have been drawn so that people can't see it and say, fix. We'll assign a band to a number, and then Richard is going to just draw the numbers. We'll let him know who he's picked. But yeah, we can't show it till after the draw's been done. Anyway,
yeah. Going back to Fools and Horses. Yeah, you're right. It is one of them things. If you're feeling down, you feel I've had a miserable day, you put some Fools and Horses on.
Yeah, exactly.
You see, I love Trigger. Trigger's just a legend.
Yeah, act casual, Trigger. Act casual. Don't make a fuss. Boom.
There's one of my favourite things when someone's come into the flat and they all go and hide round the curtains, Del Boy, and they look at Trigger. What are you doing here? Well, everyone else is here.
They're all behind the same curtain.
His broom, same broom. It's just had a new handle and a new brush.
Yeah. One of my favourite Trigger moments was from, when they revived it in the early 2000s. Yeah. And I know, people have mixed feelings about those episodes, but there's a great Trigger scene in, I think it was the first of the 3 Christmas specials of the new millennium. And Rodney, they're in Del and Rodney's flat, and Rodney says to Trigger, "What are you doing here?" And Trigger says, "Oh, Del said he'd give me a lift to the pub." And then Rodney sort of, thinks, "Oh, all right then." And then a few seconds later, Rodney does his his double take face, and he says, "But hang on a minute, you actually live closer to the pub than we do." I know it's not very funny when I recount it, but I always, I don't know why that scene always makes me chuckle.
Anyway,
it was like me driving. It was like me driving over to the village to pick up Iain to drive round to the pub.
Yeah, exactly.
Knowing that I couldn't drive back. I had to walk back.
Yeah. Good evening, Mike.
Evening, Mike.
Oh yeah.
Are you looking forward to tomorrow?
What?
Are you looking forward to the new Beavis Frond album tomorrow?
Yeah. I've had it on order for a little while, so I'll probably pick it up on Monday. So so we'll see what it's like. There's a live one. There's a live one as well, sort of coming out Record Store Day.
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know what that'll be like.
No.
But you were talking about Trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favourites from Trigger is when Raquel and Del Boy, when Raquel's pregnant, and they tell Trig that they're gonna name the baby Rodney, and so he goes into the pub and tells, I think it's Dave the barman. He says, "Oh, they've decided to name the baby Rodney after Dave."
Oh, it's just priceless. I mean, Roger Lloyd Pack played him beautifully, didn't he? He got
He was the perfect deadpan.
Fine actor, but he was good in the Vicar Dibley. He played the same as sort of character, didn't he? That dead,
Yeah.
But he'll always be remembered for Trigger. Anyway, has anyone brought anything this week?
I have.
Oh, darling, Jimmy.
Do I have to go first? Or, I want to.
Yeah, you were here first. You go first. Yeah.
I want to wait for more people to be in, because I always feel like I'm a bit like, it's a special guest. We better get him out of the way. So I want. In the middle.
I went to a little antique place yesterday.
Okay.
With Lee.
There's
a little record thing in there. And as you know, I had all my status quo as a lad on cassette, and they're poorly now, and I can't play them. I've got a few more Quo albums now, and I got all these. There's one that's missing because it's in the 1981 pile, but I picked up quite a lot of the old Quo. So we're going to start off with a bit of
Marius.
Hello. Hello.
Evening, Andy.
A little bit of the Quo album.
Mm-hmm.
My favourite Quo album. So pleased to get that. Also picked up Blue for You and the wonderful Gatefold version. Look at that. That's just worth buying the album for that.
It's all shiny, can't see.
Yes, it is a bit shiny, but
yeah, okay, yeah, got it.
I even brought this, one of my least favourite, but it's an original because it's got the really groovy cover and the groovy. So that is an original. Also brought If You Can't Stand the Heat, and the one that opens up like that.
Going.
The last one I'll show for now, a bit of Whatever You Want.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up two other albums, not Status Quo. The first being one of my favourite albums by Mr. Jerry Rafferty.
Yes.
The Night Owl album. Brilliant. And for a massive £1.
Hey.
Hotel California.
Nice
Gatefold
one.
edition. And it sounds great.
Nice one.
Oh, I've got a nod of approval from Michael. £1. £1 English pound.
For the money, fantastic. For the music,
Ohio.
That one was £2. Jerry Rafferty.
Wow. What's the
I
hit on
just went
that?
over the thing and he just looked at me and went, "Oh, 20 quid, the lot." Done.
Fair enough.
So, what have you been up to, Malcolm? Anything good?
Who?
Michael.
Michael. He called me Malcolm.
I thought
Yeah,
it was
I thought, yeah.
Yes,
Is
he did.
that
He said
Michael
Malcolm.
or Malcolm, spell ELTON space JOHN. Sorry, I love your specs from the other day. I don't know if you're wearing them for a gag or not, but
It's a long story, but not a gaggle. They're actually busy week. I went to the reopening of Tower Records in Shibuya yesterday, and they were boasting 100,000 records, and they probably had 100,000 records. It wasn't the renovation that I thought it was going to be, but I shot a lot of footage and did some interesting bin digs. And I think some of the people on this panel will like what I turned up because when you walk into a record store, you're like, God, with a camera, you're like, what am I going to shoot? You start to think about what you hear from people that you're talking to, what they like. And I'm like, oh, Mike's Vinyl Spiral would like this, so I do a bit of a dig, or Nick would like this because I'm looking for impetus because there's just you're in an ocean of records in a place like this, it's just incredible.
Wow.
And the other thing is there were so many foreigners at this store. There were more foreigners than Japanese.
Wow.
Yeah.
You saying that, Michael, when I were going through these records, every single one that comes on this panel, they'd like that. It happens, doesn't it? That's how much we've done of each other.
Yeah.
We know what we think. Oh God, they've got some about 6 or 7 new Order albums, and I thought of Jimmy straight away.
Right.
I could have spent a fortune yesterday, but I didn't because I'm coming up to Leeds.
Yeah.
But I thought 20 quid was. I got a nice bundle and I got all my Quo, my favourite Quo. So I'm a happy bunny. But yeah, they'd got some Dead Kennedys in there. So where this guy got it from? I even saw a Todd Rundgren album.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
God
not
bless.
sure which one it was because I was flicking, but I saw his name. I
Right.
thought of Stevie before you, though, Michael.
You did.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought of Stevie before me. Of course you did. Of course you
Yeah,
did.
I thought
Brutal.
I nearly brought. I was tempted to buy it and send it to Stevie.
Yeah. You should have done it. You should have done.
Yeah, I got coming to think of it, but I hadn't got the pennies in it because it was a cash only place. This was so.
Yeah.
I don't.
All right.
I looked to see how much I've got in my wallet. I thought, oh bugger. So yes. So,
Yeah.
do you want to show what you brought this week, Jimmy, or do you want to wait?
I'll wait. It's all my 1981 stuff I've got actually.
Oh,
so,
it's your 19.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're supposed to
I don't
show,
show
Jimmy.
anything that I've bought new until I've showed it on my channel. But I've actually got quite a lot of. I realised, I thought, hang on, I've got a ton of good stuff from 81, so I ought to be on this panel today.
It's great year, 1981. Anyway,
Yeah.
Michael, the video you did of that quaint record shop in Tokyo, at the top of the house, absolutely brilliant. I thought it looked so lovely.
Yeah, it really, it's really a special place. And they've been there, they're having their 30th year anniversary party in March. 30 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just so weird, sort of, Japanese culture just seems to have gone its own way, with absolutely everything.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get a record shop like that anywhere else in the world.
No. But, you might be thinking, like, how does he make a go of it? Because it's so tough to get into. The guy who owns it is also a music publisher and a producer. So the store is kind of like a pet project. So a lot of I didn't show the CDs and the 45s, but he takes performers who aren't exactly popular anymore. Then he brings them into the studio and he has them do covers of like 50s and 60s American soul and pop music, and tries to like reinvigorate their careers. And he puts out 45s and CDs. He's a really nice guy, and it's really a great gesture what he does.
It just looks so lovely,
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. And it seems as though they were expecting you then, Michael.
Yeah, because I never know if I can photograph, and I didn't want to. It's only 2 stations away from my home, but that's a couple of hour commitment. So I called in advance and asked if it would be okay, and they're like, yeah, actually, they're thinking we're having our party coming up. Let's try it. I don't think they were expecting me to film the part about going up the stairs and being out of breath, but I thought that was the best feature of the store, for Western viewers,
Yes. I just love the fact that you're in the house, so you had to take your shoes off.
Yeah, you have to take your shoes off in all houses.
Yeah.
It makes ours look tips, doesn't they? Our record shop.
What?
It makes ours look absolute tips. It's like not going. It was like watching. I'm going into your granny's house and looking at your granny's records. It was so quaint, and I loved it as well. I thought it was so different, and everything's. I like it. You can that culture. Everything's neat.
Yeah,
not like us thrown in bins and just I'll go and help you. I wouldn't have dared look through them the way I look through records because I'd feel if I'm imposing on them. I'd have to be but normally it's you've got that knack of just going through stuff.
Yeah.
But no, you couldn't do that there, could you?
No. They actually have signs on the bins saying "Don't drop the records loudly back into the bins because you'll damage the spines." They post little signs that say that.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting video. I really enjoyed it. I've watched it twice.
Great.
Actually.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun to make. And my camera work, I don't know if you noticed, but my camera work kind of improved.
Yeah. Actually, so where did you have the camera? Or have you got 3 hands, Michael?
I took a page out of Awatar's book, and I started. I was researching Ray-Ban. I was researching camera glasses like Ray-Ban Meta. I don't know if you heard about this. Ray-Ban and Facebook teamed up and they made glasses with cameras in the temple. But you get that small with a lens, you don't get very good pictures. You just don't. The technology is not there yet, right? And then I realized, Jesus Christ, I have iPhone 14. I mean, it's the greatest camera in the world. So I researched harnesses where you can hold it under your neck, and I got one that kind of has a MagSafe magnet on it, and it's very strong. So I have like a full, it's like my body is a gimbal. I'm like a human gimbal. And I can raise it and use my thumb and my forefinger and pinch in and pinch out to zoom in and zoom out on the fly. So it's like I have full camera control with a camera just underneath my chin. And I can see it.
Right.
It's like, it's not uncomfortable or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I was wondering. I was wondering as I was watching it, when suddenly two hands appear in shot, and I think, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So that's a great quote anyway. My body is a gimbal.
My body's a gimbal. Yeah. God, I talked about myself too much. Come on, let's talk about you for a while.
Right. Who wants to show some records then from 1981?
I have a very tiny group.
Okay,
Right.
we'll let you go.
In that
first.
case, that's
Very
Tom.
tiny group. Okay. It's too bad that Mr. Vinyl Cupboard is not here to see what I'm about to show you, but look at that. New Order, right?
Hey.
1981, 1982. And it's got that damn cutout. That American companies did that because they didn't want the records going back to be returned. And there's a reason why they did it for this particular record, because it says on the label, promo copy, not for research. So this was for a radio station. And, they didn't want their staff members taking records and bringing them, to a record store and trying to get cash for them. So they did what's called a cutout. I'm assuming that's what happened.
Ah.
My next record is by an American from the Jefferson Airplane, the late Marty Ballard. And this was his first solo record after all those Starship and whatnot, days. And they used Richard Avedon to do the cover. That's great, Richard Avedon. And it had one hit on it. Of course, the Japanese pressing, that hit is Hearts. Okay. Very nice, kind of groovy, lounge lizard kind of a song. And it's the only good song on the record. And I'm getting to something here. Now, can you imagine like Susie Sue recording an album that's like Melissa Etheridge or like Elkie Brooks? That's one of yours, right? Elkie Brooks, kind of like syrupy and sweet, like a Las Vegas kind of sound. That's what Marty Ballard did on this record. It's absolutely horrible record. I spent 100 yen for it. The record is everywhere in Japan. I guess they thought he would be really popular. I can't sell this record. I can't give this record away. Horrible. I know. You're thinking, why didn't he show great records? But I had to show an example of a bad record. Here's an example of a good record. David Lindley, electric steel guitar player, played with Jackson Browne. Gotta love the outfit. Kind of like the latest in potato sack garment there. And he's got one. The first song of this track is called "She Took Off My Romeos." Romeos are shoes. They have Romeos in Europe, in the UK.
No, but I do know what it means.
Yep. She took off my Romeos. She to get down and do the nasty. Great song. And he does some covers, Bye Bye Love. And Rayo X, he writes music. He's like the go-to guy for electric steel guitar. He passed away, and El Rayo X was his band. And it's okay. It's okay. It's not a go-to record. Play it once in a while. But this is a go-to artist for me. Garland Jeffries, a New Yorker poet, and I think this is his third or fourth studio album. called Escape Artist, and he's got a lot of people helping him out on this record. He's got Lou Reed on this record. He's a poet, and he writes a lot about Black issues. He did an album, I think it was called, or a song called Buckwheat, because he was at a baseball game, and he got up to go to the bathroom, and somebody in the crowd said, "Hey, Buckwheat, sit down," and he really took offense to that, and he got really deep into it, and he wrote, a song in response to that. So he has a lot of Jamaican influences. It comes with a 7-inch 45 that's really actually better than the record. Lover's Walk and Christine are just marvelous, and probably this was the first time I've ever bought a record where it came with a 45 in it. And the songs he got on it sounds a lot like Elvis Costello with Modern Lovers and Christine. It's really kind of like that new wave sound, very much like early Elvis Costello, but he does a cover of 96 Tears that is to die for. And to get this, I would get this record just for that cover of 96 Tears. If you saw it as a single, I would buy it. It's better than the original. And I think, 1981 was not a good year for me. I was really poor, and there was a lot of shit things going down in my life in 1981. So that concludes my broadcast this year for 1981. Next year, I'm going to blow you guys out of the water with my 1982. But this year, and I don't even think there's going to be any Todd Rundgren in it. But that concludes my presentation for 1981. You can make me small now.
That's always interesting records. I love the tune 96 Tears. So I'm going to go and check that out tomorrow. So I like the Strugglers version as well. So it's just a great tune.
There was a query on the first album that you showed.
Which was which one?
New Order.
What was the question?
Order EP.
New Order.
I should have clocked it as soon as you put it up. It was out in 82.
You show it next.
Well, no, it's 81-82.
Yeah, but okay.
Okay.
I'm glad. I'm just glad you showed New Order, but it was Stevie who.
Of course. Who would think nothing of that? I mean, Michael's got he shows 5 records, and Stevie finds fault with one of them.
It's all right, Jimmy. You showed the Susie album on the wrong week as well.
I think I was watching that.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's the showing. So do you want to go next, Jimmy?
I can do if Mike doesn't want me to.
No, you can go. You can go next. You can go next.
Go on then. It's first time me doing this, so apologies if my sound a couple of weeks ago when I was last on was a bit iffy. But I've got an external mic now, so fingers crossed I sound a little bit better.
Yeah, all your videos since you've had that mic, Jimmy, have been brilliant. Your live stream your voice was nice and clear. So good.
Yeah, I did do a test stream, and then the Sodcast thing that I did. Yeah, so good. I'm glad it sounds good for people. So I've got a couple of CDs, or this one's a CD and a DVD. Depeche Mode's debut album, Speak and Spell. I did do a Depeche Mode ranking last year, and I ranked this at, I've even made notes, I ranked this at 6 out of their 15 studio albums. So, yeah, I do like this one. Scott just can't get enough on it. I mean, who doesn't like Just Can't Get Enough?
That's a great song.
Yeah. So I do like these special editions with the DVD, because all the DVDs have a little, well, not even little, but some of them are sort of getting on for an hour long, but a documentary that focuses on the album and what the band were up to that particular year or that particular era.
Right.
Love the album, and I've got a lot of these Depeche albums with the bonus DVDs. I think the DVD also has, it's got like surround sound audio, but I don't listen to DVD audio. I'm not set up for that, so I couldn't tell you how good that is. But as an album played on compact disc, it's fantastic. Speak and Spell. Of course, I was going to show New Order and show their debut album, Movement, another special edition. This is a 2 CD set. I've also got this on in the definitive edition box set, but I couldn't be bothered to get that out. All this stuff I found from 81 was easily accessible. I know I've got more stuff from 81, but it'd take me too long to dig it all out. So disc 1 is your standard album. It's got the old Green Music logo on it, and disc 2 is like extras, so singles from around the era that weren't on the album, such as Ceremony, Temptation, which obviously was 82, as Michael now knows.
You can see he's grinning in the back there. He's rolling around in the back on.
Yeah.
Rub my nose in it.
New Order was the inevitably, because they're my favourite band. They were the first band that I did a full studio albums ranking on, and out of their 10 studio albums, this one would come 10th. So it is my least favourite from New Order. But you know, when you're doing a ranking, even when it's an artist who you love everything, something's got to come at the bottom, hasn't it? So
yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I know. That's the downside to doing rankings, isn't it? But one thing I will say, always in favour of this album movement, that the opening track, "Dreams Never End." I mean, to me, that is single quality, that song, and it's a rare one where Peter Hook's providing the lead vocals, because of course Bernard Sumner was the main vocalist for New Order, but that was a Hooky led track, and it's always been one of my overall favourites. Dreams Never End, but the album itself it's good, but I don't really consider it better than just good. I have got some vinyl, and I don't know if anyone's ever shown anything by this act on here before, so hopefully this might be a first. But this is the second studio album from Yellow, and this is, and apologies for my Spanish pronunciation, but this album is called, I think, Claro KC, and I did look that up to see what that stood for, and I've forgotten what it means. C is definitely yes, isn't it? And K it's like, well, it's what or something. But this was Yellow's second album. There was still a trio at this point, and they were a trio, I think, until after the third album, and then from the fourth one onwards, which would have been possibly Stella, I think. It's Yellow. I do love Yellow, but I've got almost all their albums. I haven't done a ranking on them because there's one studio album I'm missing, because it's one that the one original vinyl pressing is just stupid money, and for some reason it's the one album that they haven't reissued either. So I might end up getting it on CD eventually. But I do love Yellow, and no one really seems to talk about them an awful lot in the VC. So
can you show the other side?
Give them a bit of love today.
Can you show the other side, Jimmy, before you put it away?
Oh yeah, sorry about that, Michael. Yeah, this is German. This is a German pressing, I believe, from the original year. Sorry if there's any there.
I love the artwork. I love the illustrations on that record.
Yeah, I think that's what attracts me to a lot of acts, really. Even going back years to ones like New Order, it's like you hear the stuff on the radio and see them on Top of the Pops, and you think, oh, I like that, but it's when you go into a record shop and you look at the album art, and that, for me, that can often be kind of a selling point for me, as to, it's like, oh, I'll take a punt on that just because I like the sleeve, or I know there's good tracks on it, but I do love that sleeve, so I'm going to get it. The artwork is important to me.
It's like if they chose that piece of artwork for the record, it's got to sound good. That's the thought happens to be. Yeah.
Speaking of nice art, because I think this was a sleeve designed by Peter Saville, who, for obvious reasons, is one of my favourite graphic designers. I wouldn't be surprised if other people would show this album later on, because I think it's a pretty popular one from the year. But this is the more recent remaster of OMD's Architecture and Morality. 3 brilliant singles on here. The 2 Joan of Arc tracks, Joan of Arc and then brackets Maid of Orleans. I love them both. And Souvenir, another good single as well. Just on standard black vinyl. This one, it is one of the half-speed Abbey Road remasters. So yeah, not an awful lot in the way of original vinyl to show you today, apart from the Yellow album, I think. I'll put that away later. Next one. This is one I remember mentioning it on Iain's stream ages ago. I think probably the first time I was a guest, because I said I picked it up for a bargain price, and it's the Who's Face Dancers. This was the first Who studio album I got, and I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. I think it's a really strong album. This. Now, I'm not a Who expert. I know there's people, Stevie springs to mind, and I'm sure there's others on the panel now who are proper Who experts. I'm not. I'm discovering them a bit like I'm discovering the Stones at the moment. Sort of, getting into it really. I'll show you one of the discs because it's a nice blue. But I think it's a really good album. It's probably a toss up between this one and Who's Next for my favourite Who album so far. Now, if that sounds sacrilegious, bear in mind I've not listened to everything the Who have done yet. I've not got round to Tommy or Quarter Finalist yet. So just forgive me if but at the moment, this is way up there for me. I think this is really good. It was the first album that featured Kenny Jones on drums, obviously. So yeah, that's Face Dancers, and I managed to pick this up. This was a bargain, something like £11 something from Drift Records in Devon, I think it is. Another one that I picked up recently when I was continuing my Stones odyssey was the alternate sleeve edition of Tattoo You. If they do count it as a studio album, that's obviously what the more familiar cover, but on this edition they're using it as the back cover.
Yeah.
They do count this as a studio album, but a lot of the stuff was sort of outtakes and rejected tracks from, in some cases dating back to quite early in the 70s, I think. Just another look at one of the discs. It's a 2-disc set, this one. And I think this is special vinyl as well. Yeah, it is. It's clear vinyl. I picked this up from, I think it's the Polydor Records website on 30% discount. And with me collecting the Stones and collecting the Who at the moment, it's a good site to go on because they're both on the Polydor roster these days. So, so even something like Start Me Up, that I'd always assume, because Start Me Up is it's one of their famous tracks now, isn't it? Even that dated a few years before it was released. It was from something like, I don't know, I think they initially worked on it in 77 or 78, something like that. But it was a bit different in its early form, and then it became obviously the opening track on this album, and it's not my favourite Stones single, but it's an iconic one, and I've got no problems with it. And then last album to show you, but I will show you a couple of singles afterwards as well, if that's all right. It's another reissue, because I do like to buy reissues rather than original vinyl. Hi, Simon. And it's the New Order Store exclusive of Joy Division Still. So not a studio album. It's kind of like half compilation, half live album. I think this is another one that's clear vinyl. It came out, was this about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was an exclusive to the New Order Store. It's gatefold. Not an
very nice
in there.
Yes.
I like this. I wanted it because I'd had it on CD for many years, and I'd double up. I'd get stuff to do with New Order and Joy Division, etc. I'd get it on CD and on vinyl. And when I saw that they were issuing this, and it was any time a website or a shop says this is exclusive to us, then they've hooked me in. Really, it's like, oh, if it's an exclusive there, I've got to get it from there. But I'm a sucker, really. I know I am, but they know how to hook gullible punters like me. But There's Joy Division and Still, also out in 81, and a couple of singles to quickly show you. 10-inch single, I already mentioned it briefly. The Extended Souvenir by OMD with quite a bit of ring wear. I just picked this up on a years ago, but it's a brilliant single. And I think it's Paul Humphries who does the lead vocals on this, isn't it? Rather than Andy McCluskey, I believe. I apologise if I'm wrong. How many tracks? 3 tracks on it. I like 10-inch singles. They're a little bit more unusual from your standard 7-inch. And speaking of 7 inches, I'll end with a 7-inch single. I'll end with a guilty pleasure of mine. It's not much to look at, but I know you'll all remember the single. It's just come in this plain sleeve, but one of the best and one of the biggest selling singles of 1981. And it's, of course, the magnificent on Hunter Records Japanese Boy by Annika.
Oh, I like that record.
God, I was worried. I thought, now, dare I show this? And then, like, everyone's going to be laughing at me for the rest of the night.
Oh, no. That's a great record.
It's a bit of a slur on Michael, but...
B-side of Bond.
I'd never heard of it.
And the guy who lives in Japan has never heard Japanese.
It was written for Michael.
It was. Yeah, I'll always love this single. It's completely corny, and dare I say it, it's really politically incorrect now. But it's a lot of fun, and that's what I'm ending with, the classic from '81, Annika. So thank you for the opportunity for me to show you all that stuff.
Great stuff.
Hey. Well done, Jimmy.
Well done.
Yeah.
That was your first time of showing in a year, so you did a good job there.
Yeah. I'm really pleased you showed Annika. I think that's great. That is, that is really good. That's the sort of thing we like to be reminded of.
Yeah. I love it. It's just a fun track.
Yeah,
I've got it. I'm proud.
All right. Okay. Oh, you're going next, are you? All right.
No, I just thought could I just as a point of order, I think anybody on catch up, I think we have to address the real error. If you could just make me big, because if there's any youngsters watching, they're very impressed. Make me bigger. So, okay, so you have your album. How do you find the date of the album? Well, what you can do, just ignore any dates on the front. You can open the album and there's a date right there. I think that says 1982.
My Discog said 1981, Stevie.
Or sometimes you don't have to do that.
I looked it up on Discog. I always double check.
1980. Let's not have any arguments, please. 1982. So just if any youngsters watching, it's very easy to find the date. Very embarrassing if you get it wrong in a situation like this. So
evidently.
So there we are. So okay, point of order.
If I have a nitpicker like you on camera, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, well done. That's a great public service announcement.
A great injustice has been righted.
Anyway, who would like to go next?
Oh, well, I'll get it.
Yeah, take the heat out of the situation.
I didn't get any points for promotional,
huh?
Yeah.
Right, make you big. So there, it's all
right. Okay, then, folks. I'll start with singles. Now, this is a band, and I mean they're a bit pantomime, if you know what I mean. And they were quite late on the scene, and anti-nowhere league. But this is a fantastic single. 2 great tracks.
What's pantomime mean as an adjective, Mike?
Sorry?
What do you mean they're pantomime? What does that mean?
Well, sort of a bit. I don't know. I know what I mean. They're a little bit sort of playing up to the sort of punk image. They're sort of larger than life. Top. Yeah, a bit over the top.
Please.
I love this idea that sort of like that their whole sort of selling point was sort of they would say we're the league and we hate everybody, and then they go no we don't really we're really nice guys but they were quite late on the scene because this is like 1981, so Streets of London, cover of the Ralph McTell song, and they do it better than he ever did. And then the incredible "So What" on the B side, and that's on the WXYZ label. As are all of their singles. Need to show a bit of Blondie. There you go, Rapture. And that's on Chrysalis. Bit of UK subs.
Hey, get in.
Keep on Running Till You Burn. And B side of that was Perfect Girl. And I'll show you the label. There you go. So that's it. And we always like to show a bit of Toya, don't we?
Oh, we do.
Yeah. So there you go. 4 from Toya. So this was just a bit of a bit. I think this was just a bit of a sort of like a money grab, really. You know, cashing in a bit on her success. So it's a nice selection of 4 tracks from Toya.
Did you know she was not very popular? She was barely unknown in the United States.
Right. Yeah, she was absolutely enormous for a while.
Yeah.
So she was in the Derek Jarman film Jubilee. And if anyone can tell me what Jubilee was really about, I'd like to know. But you know, Adamant is in that as well, and it was Deutsche Girls, wasn't it? Was released as
very good actress.
She started off as an actress, yeah,
very good actress,
and she played a sort of psychopathic pyromaniac called Mad in.
And she was quite overweight in the film as well. I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Well, she's lost that weight now. If you could look at her videos with her husband on YouTube, she's got a bit of a jiggly going on. It's really marvelous.
I haven't noticed.
Right, and then the Talking Heads spin-off. In a way, yeah, Genius of Love. This is an absolutely brilliant single. You know, absolutely love this. And Lorelei on the B side. Well, not much to say here really, but Stranglers Golden Brown. One of my favourites from them.
Yeah, me too.
It's on there over there. And then, of course, you know, I have to show a bit of Susie, don't I?
Yes.
Of course you do.
So there we go.
Which
Arabian Night. There we go. And what's on the B side of this? Can't remember now. Oh yeah, Supernatural Thing. That was the B side of this.
That's a good song.
Yeah. And then another single. This one was on the album, which will be coming up in a minute. And this is Spellbound. Another great single. And then you know, the great John Lydon, Public Image Limited.
Flowers of Romance.
Flowers of Romance.
What a song that is.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Yeah. It took me a while to get into Pill, and I think this was the single that finally did it for me.
I think that's the one that does it for everybody, doesn't it? You know, once you put that on and go, yeah, these are good.
Yeah, because there's Public Image, and then Death Disco, I think, was pretty good.
Yes.
But okay, so now just some albums.
my favorite.
The Opaz, Playing with a Different Sex, and the cover art on this, the cover photograph, is from the photojournalist Eve Arnold, and it's one of a number of photographs that she took. And these are these young women are sort of Mongolian militia out sort of training.
Tartars.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's some. They were quite political, and it's on the Human label. Right. Let's show a bit of Crass. So
who is that?
This is Penis MV.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah, I won't open
That's
up.
got everything.
As with a lot of the Crafts sort of albums, the cover is sort of opens up into a poster, but I won't get it out now. I think I showed it on one of my videos actually a while ago. But there you go. So that's Crass. So there's only sort of female members of Crass appeared on this album. So they're making a feminist point now. Now I'm surprised this one hasn't come up yet. Penthouse and Pavement, episode 17. So I mean, this has got some great tracks on it. You know, apart from well, what have we got? We Don't Want This Fascist Groove thing. Penthouse and Pavement, Play to Win, Soul Welfare, Geisha Boys and Temple Girls, Let's All Make a Bomb, which I really love, The Height of the Fighting, Song with No Name, and We're Going to Live for a Very Long Time. So this is on their sort of BF British Electric Foundation label. Great album. Another absolute classic from 81, of course, is Tin Drum from Japan, or by Japan, I should say. And yeah, so I mean, this is that's the album itself. But you've got you got absolutely brilliant tracks on here. You know, sort of Visions of China is lovely. Still Life in Mobile Homes, I mean, absolutely sort of classic album track. Cantonese Boy, it's an absolutely classic album.
Yeah, they were the
British
mellow boys,
kid going
weren't
on
they?
with
They were
boys.
the mellow new
Asian
wave,
boys.
weren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, quite honestly, I'm not particularly into Japan, but that album is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant album. Then here we are, Susie's album from this year, which is Juju. So it's got, Spellbound is on it, and Arabian Nights isn't on it.
So basically, we're getting a preview of Stevie's presentation, right? We'll see what Stevie's going to show right now through your presentation, Mike.
Sorry?
We're basically seeing Stevie's presentation right now.
Yeah.
Nobody's laughing. I can't believe this.
I'm sort of chuckling to myself.
Nobody's laughing. Correct.
Oh dear. Yeah. There we go. Soft Cell.
Haven't got that one.
Yeah. All right. So, please, they met when they were at college in Leeds, and got the absolute classic, Tainted Love, which is a great cover.
Yeah.
And Say Hello, Wave Goodbye, Bedsitter, Sex Dwarf, CD Films, Frustration. It's an absolutely brilliant album. And again, I don't think they managed to sort of like scale the heights after that. And just two more to go from Bristol. The Vice Squad, No Cause for Concern. This is straightforward punk. So you've got Rebecca Bond, otherwise known as Becky Bondage, on vocals. And Dave, Mark and Shane, and I can't remember their surnames, making up the rest of the band. And finally, another Leeds band, Girls At Her Best. And this is called Pleasure.
Nice.
And it says it's got a free pleasure bag inside, limited edition. Yeah, and I've still got my pleasure bag. Here it is.
Hey.
The Girls At Her Best pleasure bag, and it's pretty disappointing actually. So you sort of like a cutout sort of stencil, so you can go doing graffiti if you want. Some sort of postcard, another postcard, and a sticker. So there you go. That's my 1981 stuff, folks. So you can make me small, Iain.
Very good.
Very nice stuff, as usual.
So much sex in these records being shown today. So much sex.
Yes.
I know.
Fetish stuff.
Saying hello to Simon.
I know. It's
Hi, Simon.
Yeah, I'm showing my true colours today, Michael. You know, this is
really
what I'm all
It really
about.
shows the British mind. I'm really, it's opened my mind.
It's all smart. It's all smart.
It is. You fetishize, like, young boys and young girls, and it's just amazing. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's just base, isn't it? Yeah.
What do you got, Steve? You got some fetish for us today?
Be quiet, Michael. Just be quiet. Hello, Simon. Hello, everybody.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Do you want to go
I'm
next,
fine.
Simon? Because like Michael rudely said there, I have some duplicates. So if you'd like to take the reins,
All right. Well, I haven't got many anyway, so it shouldn't be long.
take it
Start
away.
off with a couple of 45s. Stevie Nicks, Stop Dragging Your Heart Around.
Oh, lovely.
One of
Great
ours.
single. Great single. Of course,
Mm.
duet with Tom Petty, one of my favourites.
Yep.
I do have the album on vinyl, but it's a bit of a pain to dig it out at the moment. I've
Yeah.
got a load of stuff all over the place in the front room here. It's a bit difficult. Another great song, brilliant song for the Stones, Waiting on a Friend.
Oh, I
I
love
think
that
it's
song.
probably one of their best songs they ever done, I think, in my humble opinion. And of course, that's from the Tattoo You album, of course, as we all know, from 1981.
Oh,
A great promotional video for that song in New York.
We've got Men at Work, Business as Usual,
oh,
1981.
Yeah, great.
Thanks, Mike, for bringing up Tom Tom. Initially, I didn't have that in my collection here, but as soon as you said, I was like, oh, right, yeah, but I better dig that out.
we got
But
the
yeah.
album.
Tom Tom.
Yeah.
This is a recently find in a charity shop. It's a Mo-Fi CD pressing. Tom Petty, Hard Promises. I love this. When you open these up, these cases, the CD just pops out.
Oh.
Like, just classy, really classy.
Simon, is the fact that it's Mo-Fi, is there a noticeable improvement over another CD version?
I think there is. Yeah, I think there is.
Yeah, I'd agree with I've got a few Mo-Fi on vinyl, and I even with my ears, which are pretty crap, I can notice a difference. To be honest,
I just thought CD's a CD.
So good. You hear all the nuances and everything. It's just it's something else. Anyway, another Police album, of course, from 1981, Ghost Machine. Every year so far, there's a Police album at this era. I think they're probably like the best band in the world at the time. Certainly when this came out, they were like a good few years in. So good album of theirs. And finally, Rush, Moving Pictures.
Yes.
And,
which isn't doing very well at the moment, apparently.
No. And so there you go. That's everything. So
well done.
And a new haircut too.
A new haircut, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting a bit long.
It was, yeah. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to go, Stevie?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. If we could just minimum keep the comments to a minimum, Michael. Give other people a chance. Okay.
I kind of threw Mike off his game. I feel terrible.
Yeah, terrible. It's called manners. We call it manners in the UK, but
I'm a horrible human being.
All right, I'm going to drag you through my museum of 1981. Okay.
Oh, God.
I mean, I can't emphasize, Michael, that in 79, 80, 81, this was where everything pivoted and turned around. But I'm going to start off. There was so much going on. I'm going to start off with a bit of cheese. Okay, second from Adam and the Ants, and it's called A Second Carnation. This had Stand and Deliver, which was a big single. And that's how Michael used to dress when he was a teenager.
Like a swashbuckler.
Yeah. So a bit of a cheesy album, but that's part of my 80s collection. Journeys to Glory, probably best sort of, I don't know, Journey to Nowhere, but To Cut a Long Story was quite an interesting kind of opener to their career. Yeah, after that it kind of went downhill, but there we are. So £2 says it all, I think. But
Were they ever uphill?
they were fashionable. I think it was more of a fashion thing, but personally, but there we are. Duran Duran kind of won that battle, I think. Knocking Around. This was a very good album. ELO. What was it? ELO 4 at Time.
It's a wonderful album.
Quite a good tracks on that. Bought that not too long ago, and surprised by it. As Simon said, very more sophisticated sound by the Police, I think, particularly with the percussion and guitar sounds. So that's a favourite with a lot of Police fans. Got that recently. From Origins of Punk, Cash In, The Best of Bowie. This was quite a significant album to me when I was a youngster, because I got this, and that was kind of like my introduction to Blondie. Of course, I've seen them on the TV, but it was a good collection to have because it contains quite a lot of the hits. One for Nick. I know there is Living Ornaments 79-80, but this was actually came out in 81. And this is a single album rather than the double album, Living Ornaments 79, but that comes out in 81. It's got a track on it. I think it's Cars that Nick quite likes. This has been shown. This is OMD going again a bit more sophisticated. They've left the sort of groundbreaking poppy sort of electronic stuff and more songwriting stuff. So that's been shown. Surprised this one hasn't been shown. Has this been shown? Yeah.
No.
This is an absolute classic, quite groundbreaking in its own way. Get Carter, quite a few seconds, very well known, very groundbreaking song. I think Mike has just shown that one, so I won't go into it, but got that recently. We Don't Need This Fascist Groove thing. Eurythmics were I saw them live. But this is their opener, which I think is their best album when they were still quite indie and less poppy. So this is a very good album to own. In my opinion, the best Eurythmics album. Tin Drum has already been mentioned, so won't mention that. One thing that came, we had sort of punk going into post-punk with all these other things, and came out in 81. As Jimmy has said, this is an original OG copy. It's a compilation, one LP of studio, different takes, another live. I think it's live in Birmingham. Still one of my favorite albums. Disorder is a favorite live song on that absolutely belting edition. So that's an OG copy. Another OG copy still has Armadillo Records, $3.99. Movement Fact. And like Jimmy said, Dreams Never End, Hooky Singing is an absolute wonderful, wonderful song. The rest, I think, pales into insignificance, but it is a kind of half New Order, half Joy Division LP, I think. And just for good measure, if you'd like to see the Portuguese import of it, that's what a Portuguese, yes, made in Portugal. Actually says Portuguese import on it, £2.50. So doubled up on that. But we've got a load of indie stuff coming. We had Crocodiles from Echo and the Bunnymen. This was the EP, Shine So Hard. It had Crocodiles and Zimbo on it, and that was £3.50 at the time. And of course, has anybody shown this? So this is the next one, Heaven Up Here.
Oh, good album, that is.
81. Absolutely, brilliant album. One of my favorite tracks on there. Just trying to think what it is. Escapes it. I promise you is an absolute wonderful track. But we still had punk that was now going into post-punk, but we still had the offshoots, Go Wild in the Country, controversial cover.
Yep. Yeah, Richard
nude.
Richard likes Bow Wow Wow.
Yeah, so there you are, Michael. That's an underage girl for you. Yeah, it likes that one.
Courtesy
and
of the
of
British.
course, we had the second one from What's This For? Killing Joke.
Yeah.
So that had Follow the Leaders on it. That was quite pricey. I had to splash out for that one. So, and I also splashed out for the 10-inch of Follow the Leaders, which I hadn't seen before, but it's not so rare. Mike, you showed this one. I wanted to show this one also, because like Killing Joke, Crass, the labels on Crass, there was no band sort of stuff, no titles. It was just Crass Records, and I think those were hand stuck on as well, very similar to Killing Joke. So I too had the controversial. Did you say you didn't want to show the inside, or?
I couldn't be bothered. I mean, I don't think there's anything controversial in there, is there?
I think it may be the lyrics, but I think we should.
Yeah.
Because it was great the way they did their covers, and they're just doing their covers like that. Right. Also, like you say, Flowers of Romance, Public Image. I actually bought this as an investment. I think it's worth a bit more than $6.99. But yeah. Other things coming out elsewhere. Talk about sort of from the punk ashes. You got U2 October in '81, so that's another one I was looking for. Obviously, I couldn't leave you without saying Juju, but you know all about that, so that's already been mentioned. And there was only really one album left to talk about, and that was the cover by what's his name, Blake, and like Jimmy said, surprisingly good songwriting on that, and that came quite. You thought it'd come quite low. If you go to, I put my link earlier to my video ranking of the Who albums, and that came quite near Tommy. So
I didn't done a ranking. I must watch that.
Yeah. Okay. Have you got time for a few more singles?
Oh yeah. Come on.
A brown
This is the
paper
Stevie
bag.
Vinyl show.
Ceremony. I don't want to sort of hog the space but this was a pivotal single for New Order. Everything's Gone Green and Procession. So I don't want to hog the space. I won't hog the space. I'm not going to hog the space.
Another Cars moment.
No hogging the space. No hogging the space, and there's a spare. I'm missing the brown one, and there's a turquoisey one. And so you had Adam and the Ants Stand and Deliver. This was a very big single for Ultravox, Vienna. Surprisingly,
I love that song.
Yes.
Yeah.
great single.
That was in the charts.
About your face.
Yeah, and they followed it up with The Voice. Surprised nobody's mentioned this or the LP
Kraftwerk.
by Kraftwerk. Also got Shout, Depeche Mode. Another one for Nick. You've got It Must Be Love, and you've also got Specials Ghost Town. So Jam again on the wane. Absolute beginners sort of side. Did you show this one, Mike?
Oh, I didn't know. No,
Some say
I don't have it. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one I guaranteed you wouldn't show, and this is a very good band, The Sound. This is one of their early songs, but I guarantee you the sound just got better and better and better. Brief indie band. Also The Creatures. Surprised nobody showed that. And I'm going to show this one. You bet. I'm going to show this one. You bet. I'm going to show this one. Thank you very much. Do you want a fun story?
No.
Go on then.
Okay. Quick story. It's about 2 weeks before March the 16th, 1981. I waited all night for tickets to see The Who on March the 16th, 1981 at Paul Art Centre in England. We camped all night. There were about 6 of us. And then in the morning, there was about 10 of us. When it opened, there were only about 12 people in the queue. So we could have just got in the morning, but the queue was right. And I saw the concert, and I was positioned right in front of John Entwistle and watched his fingers most of the evening. Absolutely fascinating evening. Obviously, it wasn't with Mooney. It's Kenny Jones, but it was a great evening. So thank you very much. 1981.
Great stuff. Yeah. Anyway, Michael, are you going to tell Stevie that the model was released in 1978?
You can, please. And
No, it's all right. You tell him, Michael. I think you owe him one.
The Models was released in 1978. You nodder.
Yep.
Hang on.
Oh dear.
Anyway,
It was reissued, wasn't it?
Oh, is that a reissue? Oh God!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear, that's cheap.
It was reissued. It was reissued. It was in the charts in '81.
Yes, I've got that version. You're just saying.
Yeah.
You can get away with
Anyway, I suppose
The reason is because it was popular in the charts.
That's just cheap, Stevie.
Anyway, I suppose the host had better show some records
Indeed.
because I am in the final community and I show records.
Yes,
You're
yes.
Hey, you know you are.
You're not.
Yeah, I am. I show records. Anyway,
When did
my
this
first
start?
one- my first one, and it's not
Yes.
any relatives. It is mine. This is Adam and the Ants. Well, no, Steve's showing that. It's mine, and I'm proud to own that.
Okay.
Next up, we're going to go for a bit of Rainbow.
Yeah.
Difficult to Cure, which has got I Surrender on it, a Russ Ballard song, the wonderful Spotlight Kid, and the cultural Difficult to Cure, known to many of us as Beethoven's Ninth. It's got Can't Have It All on it. Weird cover, but a fantastic album.
So I have a question before you go to the next one. They all,
Jeez.
you mentioned Russ Ballard a lot, and I like Russ Ballard too. And I know Russ Ballard from Argent, right?
Yes.
Did he? But you like metal bands, and I don't think Russ Ballard went on to play with these groups. So they were just covering him as a songwriter. They loved him so much as a songwriter. Okay.
Yeah, Richie Blackmore liked him because he was going to get him hits in America.
Ah, he thought his songwriting would get him hits in America. Wow, interesting.
Okay, we've had a bit of Ultravox, but we haven't had the album Raging Eden.
Haven't got it.
This has got the voice on it, and my favourite track on here is We Stand Alone. Might show the EP, but I'm going to show the album.
And that is Toya.
Toya, 1981. Great picture of her on the back. One of the albums I picked up with the rest of the Quo albums from 1981, Never Too Late. Quite a great picture of them, all with beards on the back. Also, the least favourite album by Genesis came out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think someone got confused and put
Good colour scheme.
because he brought out his solo album, and I'm sure half of that should have been on this. So,
That's true.
great face value. I like that album, In the Air Tonight, and all that sort of stuff. Meat Loaf released an album. He hadn't released one since 1981. And the very underrated Dead Ringer. Of course, it's got Dead Ringer for Love on it with Cher, and it's got Peel Out on it, which is a great song. I'll Kill You If You Don't Come Back. Great songs. Real sweaty type picture of meat on the back. The man who wrote this album also brought out an album. Jimmy Steinman.
Oh.
And there are songs on here that would appear on that album too one day. It's got Bad for Good on here, Lost Boys and Golden Girls, Surf's Up's on here, Out of the Frying Pan and Into the Fire. Not many people have got that album, and that is an original album. Bit of Whitesnake. Come and Get It album. Would I Lie to You? And it's the next track line is to get into your pants, and he goes, I think so. It's also got Don't Break My Heart Again. From my favourite lineup. Great little album. Second album from Iron Maiden came out, and it's one of my favourite albums by the band. Killers.
Yeah.
Murders in the Rue Morgue, Rothschild. Absolutely killer tracks on here. Innocent Exile, Killers itself. And also, in that year, I got a Japanese import.
Ooh.
Made in Japan, which is the only live material with Paul Di'Anno. It's on the Harvest, and because it's from Japan, it comes in a clean bag. So I got it out before, and it's even got the little import sticker on the back. There you go. And Pink Floyd brought out a compilation album 1981. A collection of dance songs. And you get one of these days, Money, a re-recorded version of it, Sheep, Shine on Your Crazy Diamond, Wish You Were Here, and Another Brick in the Wall Part 2.
Very good.
Yes, so that's my little collection. The other one I didn't. I've already seen that one. Best of Blondie.
Got the poster.
Yeah.
Well, that one.
Good man.
Do you want to show? Do you think we should show it?
Yeah, why not?
What? Debbie in a full
drool.
Oh, look at that.
Bad.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Yeah. That'll get your views off.
All done.
On just a new general meeting.
Yeah, well done.
Yep, good one.
Anyway, I've got a question for the panel. Today is the 29th of February, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Has anyone had a proposal that's single from a lady? Because this is the day they're allowed to do it.
That's the old.
That's to fight them off with a stick.
Yeah, you had to fight them off. And the other one is, we'll go round the panel. If you was born on this day, which day? Oh, hey, Steve. Oh, yes.
Thank you, Stevie. So important that you show that you have it also. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need
Anyway, if your birthday was on the 29th of February, which day of the other years would you celebrate your birthday? Would it be the 28th or the 1st of March? Starting with Michael.
I would think the 28th.
Simon.
28.
Michael. Mike.
28th.
Jimmy.
I would probably go with 1st of March because my mum's birthday's the 2nd, so it just mean it was a bit closer to me mum's.
What about you, Stevie?
Yeah, I think if you went the 1st, it'd be easier for other people to remember it. So going to go to 1st, I think.
My choice would be depends if it was falling on a Saturday or a Friday.
That's cheap. You've made the rest of them specifically pick a day. You've got to pick a day. 28 or 1.
I've got a cousin and he always does it on the 1st of March for the same reason as Stevie said, because they're more to remember the 1st of March than 28th of February.
Yeah. Likewise, 1st of March.
1st of March, yeah. What would you choose?
1st of March, I just told you.
Any crumpet in leaves.
Any crumpet in Leeds. Hello, Nick.
Yeah. Good evening.
Does the crumpet have to be buttered?
Well, you never know, do you? You never know.
Yeah.
So there you go. If your birthday was the 29th of April, would you celebrate on the 28th? 29th of February, would you celebrate on the 28th or would you celebrate on the 1st of March? Nick, you with us?
Hello?
Nick, if your birthday happened to be the 29th of February, would you celebrate on the 28th or the 1st of March on the other years?
Probably the 28th of March. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a bit of a knotty one, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
We're split 4 and 4.
But it's purely hypothetical with me, really.
Well, yeah. Well, it is with all of us.
Yeah. My birthday's in June.
So's mine.
Likewise.
I share one with George Michael.
The same as me, mate. Yeah, you're the same day as me, aren't you?
Am I? Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Iain did. He did as a top 10. And I forgot you had my birthday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I share my birthday with John Lennon and Polly. Which can't be bad, can it? Sharing your birthday with Polly.
No, that's all right.
It's
And
also the
Nick and
same.
Jimmy are the day after me.
It's also the same day Michael Jackson died.
Mm.
Right.
I could have showed some records. I had a list sorted, but I'm been busy babysitting, trying to cook me dinner, listen out for the little one. So yeah, I had a couple of albums nobody else has shown.
Yeah.
Oh.
For
Well, tell us
free.
about it instead then.
There's the Beat's second album, What Happened?
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah.
Celebrate the Bullet, The Selector, which didn't do too well. I think it only made a 47 or something like that, but it had a bit of a rough time because of John Lennon being shot, and I think Reagan, somebody tried to top him, didn't they, or something like that.
Yep.
Around that time.
Hinkley.
And people thought that the title of the album, Celebrate the Bullet, was glorifying it, so it didn't really go down too well. But and then there's Cuckoo, Blondie, Debbie Harry. There's supposed to be a big advertising campaign for the album on the London Underground. They had posters all ready to be put up and all that sort of stuff, but they pulled it at the last minute, I think it was, because the album sleeve, the cover, was deemed too horrific for the British people, for the British market. And the person who designed the cover, one of my favourites, is H.R. Giger.
Yeah.
Who basically is the man responsible for the Alien.
Yep.
I love his artwork. The bloke was a genius.
Oh, I know.
And that was about it. Basically, I think I had the Human League one as well in mind, and a few others that have already been shown. But yeah, I ain't really been able to. I've also got the Gary Newman that you mentioned, Steve.
Well, they did it in several forms, didn't they? Because they did a double album and then they did two single albums, one of 79, one of 80, I think, or 8, whatever.
Yeah, something like that. It came in a box. It was like a little sort of presentation box set.
They came out in 81.
Yeah, something like it. But, I can't remember what exactly they were called. They both had sort of different names, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go.
Anyway,
I like
there's
that.
one film I didn't show because it's not on.
Living Ornaments.
That's it. Living Ornaments.
Yeah.
Question for Stevie. I have a question for Stevie, Simon, if that'd be okay. Do you always leave the price stickers on your records, Stevie? Why? I noticed that you do that. Why is that?
If they're original,
Yes.
sometimes they had the shop with the price sticker, and I left them on all those years, so it would damage it if I took them off. And it's part of the sort of vintage of them, the patina of it, as they would say, like with a classic motorbike. But the recent ones, I leave the price tag on the cover so I can remember what I paid for it, and I always put what I paid for it in my calendar so I know when I bought it and how much it was. So, but also Andy Gladwin in the chat. Can I just write a quick wrong for Andy?
I'll make you big.
Yeah. So Andy, I've got Teardrop explodes.
Yes.
Teardrop.
What's the answer to what are you responding with to Andy?
He said no teardrop explodes wilder. So there it is.
I see.
The track listing. So very nice.
How come you didn't show that previously?
I admitted it to put it because you'd accused me of taking up too much time and hogging the screen.
You think? You think?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But you showed other records that other people showed, though.
Jesus Christ! Well, if I'd have gone before them, then it'd been all right. Right. Thank you, Andy. Anyway, that's for you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, I admitted something when I was showing my films.
Sky 3.
Let's see.
Oh, brilliant! That's a brilliant film.
It is a fantastic film. It's got John Cleese playing a very camp Robin Hood.
Robin Hood, yeah.
Yes. I love that film.
Was
And,
Chariots of Fire 81 or was that 80?
Thank you, Andy.
Chariots of Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 81, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah. I'm actually typing up a little list, and I'll be with you in a second. But yeah, Chariots of Fire as well.
That was the guy from Yes, wasn't it? He did that.
Vangelis.
Vangelis.
He wasn't in
Vangelis wasn't in Yes.
I don't know. Please.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Chariots of Fire.
Yes.
Has a connection with the Falklands War.
Really?
Do tell.
Wow.
It's connected with the world's I think it's still the world's longest wartime bombing mission, where the RAF Vulcans set off from Ascension Isle with
UK
fuel
down to Ascension and then Ascension to the Falklands by refueling.
Yeah, they were all sort of they took off with a load of aircraft full of fuel as well, didn't they?
Yeah, Victors and
thank you,
Trikestars.
French Finality.
Yeah,
get the link
to blow up the runway at Port Stanley, which they successfully did. I think only one bomb actually hit the runway. The other bombs, I think, blew up, around the sides of the runway and blew up Argentinian aircraft. But on the way back, they were playing Chariots of Fire on their little tape recorder on the way back.
Oh,
all right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was another world record. Well, you call it a world record set as well. The Belgrano, the General Belgrano.
Yeah.
I think it's still this is the only ship sunk in a wartime situation by a torpedo fired by a nuclear-powered submarine.
Correct.
And the Belgrano used to be called something else. It used to be an American warship.
Yes,
and I think it survived Pearl Harbor. I think it survived Pearl Harbor, one of the few that did.
Tell you in a sec.
There's something I didn't know.
She was the US. She was the USS Phoenix.
Go.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Deb.
Yeah. Vangelis didn't know. I didn't know that. So thanks, Zeb, that he did play on.
Thank you.
Studio run through. So yes, apologies to Stevie. He did play on some. Yes,
I was trying to wind you up, but I knew he was there somewhere in the background with yes. Thank you.
So strategic.
It was you fell for it, Michael. You fell for it. I knew you.
Hook, line,
and Genesis.
Can we go back to the warship talk now?
Mhm.
Yeah, where were we, Nick? Were we in a submarine or something?
I actually used to work with a couple of submariners. Well, they were submariners. They loved it. I'd have hated it.
Yeah, see, this is all about submarines. That boat.
Yeah.
Shall I tell you a funny submarine story?
Go on.
Guy, I was talking to when I used to do a bit of voluntary work. It was like in a this charity sorting office, and you occasionally get kind of probationers coming in, and there are some funny stories. This guy used to work on the submarines in Plymouth. So we were talking about driving offences. He said, "Yeah, I got banned for 6 months once, banned from driving." He was like drinking, had a beer in his hand while his other hand on the wheel. Got stopped by the police, banned. I said, "Oh, it's pretty serious, isn't it?" He said, "Yeah, they banned me for 6 months." "Oh, that's terrible." I said, "Well, not really," because so why is that? He said, "Well, the next day I was on a 6 month trip on the submarine." So by the time I got back, it hadn't affected me at all. Anyway, so
That's an interesting story, isn't it?
yeah,
Yes, I like
true
that.
story.
True story.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Andy,
but
I've got no Grace Jones. No Grace Jones for Andy Gladwin there. I've done my bit with Teardrop Explodes. In the
Study
chat.
files Iron Maiden with Elton John. That's an interesting place to file it. Probably the bin. No, Stunty. Leave my Maiden alone. I've been there since day one. I'm not a great fan of them now, but I used to be. But I think I got the bargain of the week for £1, didn't I?
Is this what you bought this week? Is it?
Yeah, £1. £1. Hotel California.
What is it? Making big? I can't see it. Oh, right.
It's one of the most important American groups, Stevie, of the 19th. The Eagles.
Jesus.
£1.
Not quite.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's probably yeah. That's probably a good for the pound bin.
Yeah.
Yes, love original cover.
They signed it as well.
Fake signing, or the person that brought it. I mean, you can't get it back in. But
Has it got Life in the Fast Lane on that one?
What has it got?
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
It has, yeah. Hotel California. Victim of Love's on here as well.
Fastlane, is that not a submarine base?
Yes, up in Scotland, Stevie.
Sorry, just a little joke. Have you got Ian? Have you got? I was looking at the albums. 81. Have you got? Was it Sky 3? Because I think last week you had Sky 2.
Yeah, I've got Sky 3, but I didn't show
And
it.
4.
And 5.
Very inventive with their album titles.
Oh yeah. Oh, they did go. The next one was called Candium, and then the one after that was called The Great Balloon Race. So
well, the fans probably lost track. They're confused, looking for like where's Sky 6 or 7. You know.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't have the Filipino version of Time by ELO.
No, it's only
It's on special order.
It's only out of the blue.
Yeah, that's a great album, Time. I love that album.
Yeah.
Even though
Michael, I liked your video. I think you mentioned it at the start of the show.
Thank you, Stevie.
You pushed your way into somebody's house or something and had a look at their records.
You could say that, yes, if that's how you saw
Just
it.
a quick question, because it seems strange that they had a store in their house. Does that mean that you could use their toilet, their own personal toilet?
Well, actually, it was a residence. It was formerly a residence, and the toilet was on the second floor. If you'd watched the video, Stevie, when I'm going up, it said toilet on the second floor. We covered the toilet in the video. So you must have missed that part.
I probably scrolled the stairs.
Probably. Yeah. That's good. So we basically know you didn't watch the video.
But you criticize me for like panning too quickly. Could I just criticize you? Just a small point, because
Please.
Your new two-handed technique. So you've got your chest-mounted camera. How strange that must look, right? Walking in with that.
I look like
and you got your
I
two
look
hands
like-
free. You got your two hands free, and then this thumb covers up half the prices as you're pulling up the albums. I don't know if you noticed that.
It's a minor production, flaw that will work out going
So put your
forward
thumbs like
in
that
the
instead
Rice
of like
Field
that.
Records enterprise. Yes,
Go like that. Yeah.
duly noted.
Bit of feedback.
Duly noted.
Otherwise, a great video. Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
I'm
Thank
sure
you.
I'm going to get some real weird looks when I'm filming people going through bins at Leeds. I bet I'll get some weird looks.
Yeah,
You
you
might
probably
want to
get
add
beaten up,
permission.
Ian. So they in Leeds, they miss out the sort of giving you weird looks bit and go straight for the violence.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with a bit of good old-fashioned British gross violence.
exactly.
Yeah.
A little piece of professional advice, Ian. You might want to be standing behind somebody that you know going through the bins, as opposed to somebody that you don't know going through the bins. If you know what I mean, because you might get a bloody nose.
Yeah.
I've just
Well, I'll have Nick there with me. He'll look after me.
I dare you to wear a Man United shirt around Leeds in full view.
No, I haven't got a Man United shirt.
Yeah.
They'll love you.
Oh yeah.
I can see hordes of people coming up to you and giving you a hug.
More like a Glasgow kiss.
Yeah, and a knuckle sandwich as well.
When is the fair? It's coming up, right? It's in March.
March the 9th. Next
Yeah.
Saturday.
Wow, it's coming up soon.
A week on Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Thick and fast.
Do you know how many people are meeting up?
I have an up-to-date list.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was messaging people in the week.
Yeah.
There's me.
Yep.
Ian. Mike. Martin Parrott, Final Scavenger.
Oh great. I was wondering about him. Not heard anything from Martin for a long time.
Well, I've got his phone number and that. He's got my number. I'm messaging him in the week. He's going up tomorrow. Actually, he's staying with a friend overnight.
Very nice. Is he selling there? Because he does a bit of the old record fair selling, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, but I don't think he is.
It's going to be a week, isn't it? He's going to be there a week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no, he's going up Friday next week. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
I did ask Rob. He says he'll be there. John, 6-inch pianist. He's going. He's booked his bus ticket. So is Steve Whitty.
All right.
So I presume they're going up together. I did mention it to Rob Ison, but I don't know what he's doing. I've not heard nothing back. I did mention it to Beatle Dave. He said if he's not working and he's able to, he'll go up. I've mentioned it to Berwickshire Mike, but I don't know what he's doing. John Down, no, what's his name? John Bellamy.
Yep.
I don't know.
Over in Wales, isn't he?
Wales.
Headley, another fat bearded man talking about records. He lives in the Leeds area, I think. I assume he's going because he's best of mates with John. Yeah. John, 6-inch pianist. So I know there's going to be at least 7, possibly 8, could be more. I don't know.
Oh, a nice gathering.
Yeah.
I did send you my number, didn't I, Ian?
Yeah, I'll give you a tinkle in the ear. Is evenings a good time to ring you?
Yeah, 6 o'clock onwards. I'm normally in from work by then.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you a ring in the week to finalise. I'm not going to do it live where I'm living. I don't want hordes of people outside the house.
No. That's understandable. It starts at 10, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
It's going to take us a good 2.5 hours. 2 to 2.5 hours to get up there.
That's fine. I'm all right with that. I'm an early riser, so.
Yeah, so we're probably looking at leaving 7:30 in the morning.
No problem at all.
So I might have to start heading back at about 4, 5 at the latest. I can pick my daughter and granddaughter up from my eldest lad's house in Frapston.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's a few hours with the gang. That'll be.
The park and ride, as far as I'm aware and can make out, it just goes around in one loop. It drops the one where I'm planning to park at and get on stops. Michael know the name of the road. Brigate.
Frigate. Yeah.
Frigate. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Spelled Brigate.
And is it only a 5-10 minute walk to the market?
It's yeah. I mean, Brigate. It's the sort of next street along from Vicar Lane where the market is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I need to. The only thing I haven't ascertained yet is what I mean. The park and ride drops off, and it picks up again from the same spot on Brigate. But I need to sort of pop into the reception bit, which I presume there is an office or whatever it is, or ask the bus driver what time the last sort of buses back are, so we can sort out a time heading back if I have to get home, early-ish sort of thing. So yeah, if you ring me up or whatever, and just let me know where I've got to get you from.
Yeah, no problem.
So I presume it's pick you up and then quick smile up the M1.
Yeah, that's about right. Anyway, it's come to that time of night where we have to find something to hold up. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to put up today. Oh,
Mike, are you going to go with that?
I was.
If you go with that, I'll go with New Order. I think.
This because Mike.
They've all avoided it.
This one's for you, Ricefield.
I got the great Marty Ballard.
There you go.
Thank you very much. So, folks,
yes,
that would officially get you more views.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely, Steve. Thank you so much.
Yeah, a whole new demographic, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Lots of people are Michael subscribers.
Men with raincoats in movie
Was it a
theaters.
picture of a blow-up doll?
I wouldn't know, Nick. I wouldn't know.
No, you wouldn't know, would you?
A sex toy, as it's known.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for.
Gosh, time has flown. It's
I know.
just getting into
I
that.
was hoping we would discuss what kind of lunches you guys are going to be packing for the Leeds record fair. That would be like what kind of.
We haven't finished on submarine bases.
Michael, I think that's a discussion point for tomorrow night. Do you think, Simon, what we are going to be taking to eat?
No, you can talk about that in your own time, I think.
Cheese and
Anyway, there is another live stream from the UK tomorrow night. What time, Simon?
8 o'clock. About 8 o'clock.
Mine's on Sunday.
And then there's Jimmy's on Sunday. So plenty
At
of
8.
live streams for the UK.
8 UK time.
Yes,
once
it was,
again, thank you very
Johan.
much. For
So
my
much
wonderful
British.
help.
So much British.
Yes, and thank you very much to some of our esteemed guests in the gallery. We've had Stunty in, we've had Stephen Schnee's been in the house, Marius. Always great to see you. And early on, we had Groovy Lisa popping in and saying hello. So thank you very much for everyone for coming in. And Vinyl Gorilla, thank you for being a good boy this week.
Yeah.
So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye bye. And God bless.
Bye.